Welcome back to West Texas View.
We've been talking about S.H.A.R.E. This is a very special and unique program to give a respite for families who have special needs children. And Alisa Ellison has joined our group of guests this morning, and she is the coordinator of volunteers, but she told me privately that she's really the child wrangler. That means that she kind of keeps the children together in their different programs. But she's also heads up the volunteer. And Alisa, I'm so grateful that you took the time away from this busy schedule. But tell us a little bit about how the volunteers work with S.H.A.R.E.
We actually use volunteers for everything. We have a staff of 4, but we use volunteers for everything else. For our parent support groups, for our respite nights, for our special events like our clay shoot, but also for our social events like our Halloween carnival. We had a bunch of people that came out and dressed up and ran that for us. Mm-hmm. We do an Easter egg hunt. We do pretty much anything that you see out in the community, we do for our special needs families.
And so you're the one that coordinates all these. You say these volunteers go here and here.
I do.
And you do the training for the volunteers so that they are prepared to deal with all of the different aspects.
Yeah, because it's a little overwhelming when you're not used to somebody that has special needs. A lot of people are uncomfortable just because they don't want to make a mistake. And my job is mostly to kind of go along with them and say, hey, my kids are just like any other kids. They do pretty much anything that anybody else does. And the main thing to remember is just to say no. Like you do with any regular kid, but to make sure that they feel comfortable, because when they feel comfortable, then my kids feel comfortable, and everything is just works out.
Because the kids know when you're uptight or uncomfortable.
They do. I try telling everybody, even my nonverbal kids are incredibly smart, and when you walk into their room, they know if you're uncomfortable or if they know. But if you just take a breath and you relax, it's amazing the difference that you see in the kids.
And love them.
Yes.
That's all you have to do is just love them.
I'm allowed to have favorites because they're not mine. But I try not to.
But I can see that loving spirit in you.
You know, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And there is probably nothing else that I would want to do. We'll say.
But one of the things that I love about what you, again, said to me privately is that you enlist a lot of people, educate a lot of people, and enlist a lot of other people to help you, whether it's to identify people who have needs of your program, or whether it's to go out and make them understand what you're dealing with. And so tell us a little bit about how you speak to the student nurses or the nursing
We are
association. Actually
hooked up right now with Midland College, Odessa College, and UTPB nursing departments. All of their nursing students come and do clinicals with us. It goes both ways. They get a little bit of practice and a little common knowledge about special needs before they go out into their fields. And two, they can advocate then. So they know that special needs affects the whole family, so that when they have a sibling come in or a parent come in, they know, okay, this is a little bit more about the family dynamic, because a lot of medical things now are it's all about what else is going on. My doctor knows that I am a sibling, and so that I have a little bit more pressure on me, so that sometimes my stress may be a little bit higher, and there's some other things that I deal with. It's just, you know, one of those things that you have to deal with.
And by the same token, they are then synergistically imparting some new information to you that will help you be better in your job.
Oh, yes, ma'am. They say, I don't have time to read a medical textbook or find out about new therapies and technologies and stuff like that. The students do. And so when we're sharing information, sometimes they'll pull me aside and say, hey, did you hear about so-and-so that just came into town? They're starting up a new therapy. Did you hear about this that just came out? You know, and different little things like that, so that we can share that information, that, you know, they're busy, we're busy, but we can connect that way and help reach our parents and the other people that need it.
Well, how do you normally, or how do you predominantly gather these people that need your services? Is that done through the special classes in the public schools, or do people just word of mouth hear about it? Or,
you know, honestly, most of it is word of mouth. A lot of our parents say that they'll be sitting in a doctor's office waiting for the kids and stuff like that. They see somebody else, they strike up a conversation. The other parents will say, you know, I'm really tired, I'm stressed, I don't know what to do. And then they go, you heard about S.H.A.R.E? Did you know that it's there? Let me tell you a little bit. For our volunteers work the same way. A lot of them will go out and say, hey, I'm going to go volunteer at S.H.A.R.E. Why don't you come with me? I think that you'd really enjoy it. And that's, we do, Miss Blakeley is really great. Miss Melissa is awesome about going out and finding people. But a lot of it is word of mouth because everybody needs the program. My family needed the program. Miss Melissa's family needed the program. There's a lot of families that need it that don't know that we're there.
Well, I know that Tom has such a good connection with the public schools because he was a teacher of special education. And so I thought that maybe that might be one of the ways. But that's the reason we want to do programs like this is because somebody will get a new neighbor that moves into their neighborhood, and right off the bat they can direct them to help. And so I really, really am grateful for all of this information that you're sharing. But talk a little bit about if someone does want to be a volunteer or does want to talk about getting their child and their family enrolled in this program, what do they need to do?
Well, if they are a family, they need to contact Miss Melissa Roach. She is the one that handles all the families that are coming in.
Or just call S.H.A.R.E.
They can call S.H.A.R.E. And all of us are connected. We all have each other's cell phone numbers. If they call any of us, we'll direct them to where they need to go and kind of get them started.
But it's not a difficult process.
It's not. I say we all work really hard to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. If they are a volunteer, they can either go online or they can call me directly. My phone number is everywhere on the internet. And say, hey, I'm a volunteer and I don't know what to do. What can I do? And I typically walk them through. I have had people contact me at 3:30 in the morning. So I will answer anytime. But they can go online. Right now we do Texas Scholar, we do Teen Court, we do Legacy Hours, we do General Service Community Hours. We're pretty much hooked up with everybody. I actually have people that come and do it as a family event and volunteer.
Well, we've barely scratched the surface of S.H.A.R.E. It is such a neat organization and such a focused organization to a group of people. We'll be back next Sunday with another program, but in the meantime, please contact S.H.A.R.E. with anything that you'd like to know.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.